Our hope and prayer for this podcast is that our content will meet you right where you are and leave a spark that only God can fan based on His Word. We will give credit where credit is due when we remember. Most of our content is based on our life experiences and training, not to be substituted for the Word of God in your life.
Welcome to the Connected Heart Podcast. We are two Christian women
Here to laugh, have some fun, and engage in authentic conversations that lean into the power of connecting with God.
because thinking about God and thinking with God are not the same things. Well, I am Martha Scholz, and this is
Sandi Slough.
And we are the two Christian women that are going to bring you the Connected Heart Podcast. We're super excited.
Yes, we are.
We are.
We are.
And this podcast has sparked from a lot of different areas in our lives. And so we're excited. We started talking about this 6 months ago, I think.
Or
Yes.
maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe even more. Maybe more.
We talk a little bit.
We do. And so when God connected Sandi and I, we both were excited and thought, let's get to work on this. So our first meeting was at my kitchen table, and we didn't come up for air for about 3 hours.
And surprisingly, when we looked at the clock, we were shocked that 3 hours had passed.
Yes. So we decided that our podcast would not last 3 hours, but that we probably had enough to talk and share that we could probably pull off some content for a podcast. So we're excited.
Absolutely. And finding our common connection as life coaches, both of us life coaches.
Yes.
And our deep desire to support younger women.
Absolutely.
And the space that they're in terms of raising kids, watching our own kids.
That's right.
Having kids and enjoying being grandparents, but then also remembering all the things that we went through as young women and often wondered, well, where could we get some wisdom or some advice?
That's exactly right. And that's one of the reasons I became a Christian life coach, was because I needed a Christian life coach. I did all the right Christian things that really formed who I was. I became a Christian late in life. I was 28 years old. And so like many of you, I'm a believer, but I also had problems and challenges in life. And I did all the things. I prayed, I confessed, I asked for forgiveness, I read and studied my Bible, I tried for quiet times, and I went to all the women's retreats and the conferences, constantly at church every week. And I did all those things to build my spiritual life. But I really found that I hit a season of life that I had lost all of my joy. And so I didn't even know how to get it back. And that I was in a spot in a very blessed life. You would look at my life and say, like, she has no problems. And I am blessed beyond. But the struggle is real. As we've said a million times, the struggle is real. And so hopefully we'll be able to share from our personal and professional lives to encourage women right whatever season they're in.
Absolutely. And my journey looks a little different. I formally accepted Jesus at 11 years old. So that makes me, I won't tell you how old in Jesus. I can tell you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I've been walking with the Lord for a long time, and I had a real passion for music. So worship and leading worship and playing piano in church. I started playing piano in church when I was 10 years old, as a matter of fact, in a really small town in Iowa. And from there, eventually I became a military wife and was a stay-at-home mommy. And I just thought that was the best job in the world ever. And I was very active in my church, like you. And as I began to connect with the other women in our church and the older women training up the younger women, it was a delightful experience for me. And I found that I was beginning to try to look like all of them sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That I was trying to do everything I should do. And in some ways, you and I connected because of your passion for helping Christians find the joy in their walk.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's about also helping Christians realize the abundant life is for now. It's not something you're going to experience. It's something that you can experience right now. And so often, with all our shoulds and our beliefs of what we have to do to be a quote unquote good Christian woman, we actually begin to set up our own bars that represent a prison of sorts. And so for me, it's about helping people realize you establish the prison, you could also dismantle it.
Exactly.
And by just some shifting in your thinking. And that's why I love to coach people, because it helps them just get out of their own way.
Absolutely.
So they can be the best version of themselves and they can enjoy the abundant life today.
Exactly. I love that. Well, you and I, again, have talked about this for hours, of that when we truly connected and got really authentic, where the Lord has his ways of really showing us where we might be missing the mark.
Absolutely.
And that we can really have an abundant life. I kept thinking that I had an abundant life, but why wasn't I feeling it? Yes. So that was very confusing for me. And so one of the things in these future episodes and lots of topics that you and I have talked about is that when I really learned how to connect with God, there was no recipe. There was no, as you call it, the to-do list.
Right.
And, it took a very dramatic time and event in my life for that to happen, which we'll probably share on another episode. We'll both share our tough stories, but how God used all of that to really show me the authentic Christian abundant life, and want to make sure that we share it with others, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think that idea of authenticity, in fact, authenticity is one of my top values, because for so long, I don't know that I recognized what being authentic truly meant. And then as God broke through and showed me what it meant to be authentically who he created me to be. I'm not there yet, by the way. Still working on it.
Okay, well, that's why you're my co-host.
There you go. But that idea of authenticity and, the struggle we have with trying to do it all and do it perfectly and comparing ourselves, even though the Word of God clearly says don't compare. The first thing we do is compare.
Right. And then feel bad about it.
And then feel bad about it, or beat yourself up, or beat somebody else up if they're fair game, or whatever it is. We're always in that process of defining and refining who we truly are. As we begin to know and understand God more, he reveals more and more of the image he created us in.
I know. That's so exciting.
I love it.
And again, you and I have had many hours to go over all this, and what we have feel led to do and to start with is coming up with the Connected Heart. And the Connected Heart is going to be a class. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. We are looking forward to our live class and our Zoom class. Online class. So that's starting mid-September. Yes. You know the dates probably off the top of your head.
I do know the dates. We are starting Monday, September 16th here at Heights Community Church in our Annex. And we are located in San Antonio, Texas, as we now have to think a little broader.
Absolutely, but that's the beauty of the Zoom
Yes,
situation.
That's right. And that's going to be
right?
so it's going to be Monday, starting Monday, September 16th from 11:30 to 1. And you can sign up at the Heights Community Church, and we'll put the link in the show notes. I always hear them say that, and I never know how that happens, but apparently we're going to do that.
And how to get to it. That's the other piece,
Who knows?
right?
Who knows?
Okay.
But then we will be offering it online on Monday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time.
And we'll do our best to end at 8 p.m. However, we want to honor.
I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to shut off and go to bed. That's what's going to happen. But it's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
Well,
it's all right.
yeah. I was thinking about how we have such a connection with one another, and how we talked about this whole idea of Titus 2, right? And the older women teaching the younger women. And then I thought, I really don't dig that title, older.
I know, but I'm fun older.
You're fun older? Well,
Yes.
I was trying to reframe, as coaches do, that word.
Okay, so
like
what'd you come
instead
up
of,
with?
well, more mature, but I didn't like that either.
I know.
Experienced. I'm not sure if I like that one either.
No.
But I don't know. What's a good way to classify ourselves? Seasoned.
Well, I had this fun thing happen. I saw a list from a preschool class that said, "What do I want to be when I grow up?"
Do we have to grow up?
Well, I don't really think we are growing up, because as I read through the list, and this one little boy I thought, that's it. He said, "I want to eat chips." And I thought, that's it. I just want to eat chips. I don't need to be anything. I just want to eat chips. So I don't know how we're going to classify that, but I don't have the word, except for I liked to eat chips when I was younger, and I like to eat chips now.
Okay, so we are chip-eating.
We're chip-eating Christian
women
that
want to connect with other women who wish they could eat chips.
Yes.
There we go.
I don't know how else to put it, because we're trying so hard not to script this and make it we're not making it perfect. We're making it
not perfect, but what was that word we used?
I don't know.
This is part of the problem with being a chip eater.
Yes, because we're old enough to eat chips, but we might have eaten too many. Okay, well, we have a lot of content and a lot of great topics that we're really looking forward to. So we hope that you will jump on this journey with us. And we have interviews coming up, people we want to talk to, real women, not only just friends of ours, but God will provide people and subjects and things that are relevant to today and to real people. And we are excited about what God has in store for us. So we would love for you to jump on the journey and come along with us. It's going to be a fun ride.
It is going to be a fun ride. And we'd love to hear what's relevant to those that are jumping on the journey.
That's right.
Because we're happy to lean into whatever topics and kick them around a little bit and ask the Lord to reveal things to us. So we want to just make space for the Holy Spirit and for our conversation to evolve as God chooses for it to evolve. So
Absolutely.
Come on and join us.
Yep. We are thrilled. We can't wait to hear from you and connect.